G'day YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Another day, another shimpaku juniper. Surprise, surprise. Now, this one I want to talk about some obvious things. So, you might come along and pick up this tree and go, wow, great. Looks like it's a nice tree already, even if I tilt it a little bit forward. You can probably see, nice and barry. Look, oh, it's got a perfect branch here on your right. Hang on your left. Perfect branch here, just a bit above it on the other side. So nice left, right, and then it's got an apex. You know what? It could be, just let's wire it out and let's create a nice tree. There you go. Bang, done. Easy. But is that the best tree that you can create? Is that the best tree in this tree that can be created? Now, if you go with that and that, left, right, and get a back branch, which has got, you follow the typical normal style. But for me, I'm at a point where that doesn't interest me as much as something a bit more contorted and funky looking and interesting, and something a bit more compact as well. This tree to me is too tall for the thickness of the trunk. This tree, if you're going to have that thickness, you need about a tree this big where my hand is. So that's how tall I would want a tree to be with that thickness of a trunk, if possible. Now, is this possible with this tree? 100% yes. Now, you would have seen many demonstrations I've done already, or videos I've done already, about how I can contort trees and bend them and twist them down, and that's the other thing, that's what I'll be doing here. So ultimately, this branch is the lowest, so what I could do in the future is, so for me, this branch and this branch probably are never going to be part of the tree. This is going to be the part of it. This is the main part of the tree. There's a branch here that could form part of the tree eventually as well, but these two definitely won't be. But for now, I need to keep them. Now, the reasons I want to keep them is this branch I need to keep because it's the lowest, which means I can airlay this one off here if I want to get rid of it and create a nice another little mini. Beautiful. Another one of my famous air layering everything that I can get my hands on. So leave this alone so I can air layer this. Easy peasy, that's gone. This one I'll have to either eliminate one day. Gin, could be a gin, could play a portion. So that's those two branches handled. But then how do we deal with the rest? So you can see it's very long and twisted. It's not interesting. A lot of nice in here. There's comes good branching and interesting branching, so that's fine. Lots of healthy growth. So my plan is to actually try and bring that right down where this guy is, pretty much. So it's going to almost block this tree, block this one out of the way. What I might do is actually wire this out of the way so that this tree can be positioned in above this base. Now, looking at the base, the tree actually goes back, and then comes back forward, which is fine. I don't mind that look, as long as it's coming back forwards. So even maybe this angle here is more interesting. It's more interesting with the base, so that could be more the front, this side. Remember this guy's gone, so you'll see that. But how do we bend this down? Good old heavy wire, heavy bending, twist down, twist and bend. Okay, so I can already feel I can actually contort this down just with my hands. Right down, look at that, almost all the way down. I can keep going more and more and more. So I'm going to go right down into that spot and already covering this guy here. So don't look, what I'm trying to say is don't just see the obvious in a tree. Always try and make the smallest tree possible. So a couple of things that I like to do. So look for the smallest tree possible, don't look for the obvious choice. So the plan is going to get this bent right down into this gap. I'm going to move this guy out of the way. I'll probably airlay that off today as well, because it's a good time to do it. So airlay that off, bring this right down into this gap. I'll move this guy back here, just so it's out of the way. Because I want to keep it alive for this branch to airlayer. And then we'll see what the tree looks like. I want to try and envision what the tree is going to look like in the future. So that's what I'm planning to do. Maybe some people just like it as a normal taller tree. That's fine. Everyone has their ideas and what they like, but for me, always make the smallest tree possible. So let's get cracking and let's see what this tree turns out to be. Okay, just so I can show you, so I've put some heavy gauge, I think it will be 5mm, onto the trunk and wired all the way up the tree. I've wired this first branch out of the way, so it's not in the way of us doing this bend down. I've also wired this branch and this side branch together. I left this guy alone because I'll air layer him off later, but I just wanted to show you now, because I've got the big gauge on there, I should be able to just, I don't like to do that, I'll do it in front of me so I don't break it. So I will slowly bring this so it's almost, you can see where it is now. I know it's got a branch up here that's like the apex, but this was the top originally, that's down here now. So really compacted it down where that, if we left that first branch where it was, it would be just banging into it. So moving it away, putting it at the side, at the back, gives us that space. Now it's a matter of getting all this aligned. So I like, this will probably be my new top that I'm looking at just quickly. I'll have to wire that in. Well, there's a nice branch here. So now it's now refining which other branches now we're going to select. Hope you guys can see that. So you can see how much has come down, contorted right down, eventually be a smaller tree like that size. Lay this guy off so that it won't be in the way, and leave that first branch alone for the weight, the health of the tree. So I'm going to have now go through and wire up the rest. Just want to show you that big bend so you can see it's done it well. I might actually contort it even a little bit more just with a guy wire into a spot somewhere, just to give that more contrast and more tight twisting bends and stuff like that. So see, I just want to show you guys it can be done. It's not rocket science, so it can be done. Just you practice and bend and do it slowly first until you get used to it. I use aluminium heavy gauge to get the initial bends down, and as I said in other videos, when I come to refine conifers, junipers or pines, when in the refinement stage I use copper. So, but in the development stage I use aluminium because I find it easier to manipulate the tree. Okay, so I'm going to go and tweak this a bit and put some more wire on it and get it looking really good, and come and show you how I position the rest of the tree. So I just want to show you something before I cut it off. So I've just been thinning this first branch out. Now, because I'm going to twist this guy around and create an apex in here, there's this branch here that's in here that's causing a lot of compactness, and it's too much foliage in this area now. So I'll be removing this branch in here off. So just want to show you why you need to actually look and try and figure out where your branches are going to be, so that if something's in the way, you're not going to be able to use that. So you got to take it off. So this apex, total apex, new apex, will actually form a lot of those branches, and we can eliminate this kind of heavy one at the top. Plus it's got 3 in one position, so it's good to come back to 2. So even more reason why we should take that off. This will be twisted down and into that spot. I can really see how it's going to fit, so I can eliminate that branch. So I just want to do that. Yeah, and come back and show you. Oh, hang on, let me grab my. I didn't have my knob cutters, or my branch cutters, sorry. So this branch comes off. Leave a little stub, so I've taken that one off. Now I'll use that as a cutting. Shouldn't have any problems. Nice big one too. So there you go. So that's, whilst there's a gap now in there, this can easily twist down, and I'll show you how you compact that down and you create a new apex in there. So now you can see what I mean by, that was in the way, and you can put that into that spot and make a better tree. So just want to show you that little quick tidbit. Okay everyone, so what I've done is I have fully wired the main tree. I have air layered this branch as well, so you can see what I'm thinking. And I've moved, there was a branch over here that I've moved to the back so I can show you the tree. Now it does look confusing, but what I'll do is I'll hide the bits that are going to be removed, and hopefully you can then see the rough sketch of what I'm thinking with this tree and how it's now compacted down, and it looks much nicer. So let me just wrap those areas up. I just use some, whatever, you got a tea towel or something like that, but just got this white plastic that I'll just try and cover up. I'll just show you what it'll look like. hoping you can see that. Now that I've covered the areas up, you can probably see a nice little tree. This branch probably has to be moved a bit more to the front a little bit. Maybe we'll keep it, maybe not. Maybe it could be just on this side. But I'm hoping you now can see the potential of this little tree. You know, it probably doesn't even need that branch there, but I'm leaving it for now. But let me just have a quick look and see. Let me just tilt it a little bit. Hang on. I think it's more, just tilt it a bit that way. Hopefully you can see that. So do you see the potential? That tree was much taller. It's probably about here. Now it's been reduced down to here. And it's much more compact and much more interesting. Well, that's what I think anyway. So maybe tilt it a little bit that way, a little bit that way. And you can see the structure. So that's pretty much structural wiring that I've done. I've eliminated, will be eliminating that back branch there. And once this airlayer takes, I've airlayed this branch off to create another tree. But it didn't stop me from styling the tree in a position and what I want to envision this tree to be and look like in the future. So you can still style it away, you can still style it and get it in the right shape, have the right branching in place, wire the main branches, set it in position so you got a rough idea of what the tree looks like. There's still too much fine stuff up the top to wire it out. It's still too weak to wire, but at least now we've got the structure and we can continue to develop that tree. And that's going to be a great little tree now. Looks much more older when it's now compacted down into a smaller form. When it was out here, it looked very young and looked the trunk looked quite slender. Now it's compacted and should look much older to you. So yeah, I'm just trying to hide that. But that branch, yeah, potentially could be there, could not. We'll have to work out the angles we want. Got to get some back budding at the back to help. I mean, they're not too bad, but it's a bit far out. It's a bit coming out too much. Let's get some back budding. Hopefully that will happen. But there you go, guys. I guess the lesson here is don't take the obvious choice when you see a tree of the trunk line. Have a look what you can do. Always try and form the smallest tree. That's what I love and that's what I try and do. Always try and get the smallest, because the smaller the tree, the older it looks. And I really like that. It's come along really well now. So now it will just be left to recover. Hopefully the air layer works in 3 to 6 months time. Take that off and then do some final positioning, take off branches that I don't need anymore after, you know, it grows out a bit more. Remove this branch, try an air layer maybe. It's an interesting one, but because there's nothing below it, I don't think it'll work. But maybe we'll use it as a cutting as well. Maybe we'll take it off and just use it as a cutting at bare minimum. So anyway, guys, hoping you enjoyed that. I didn't want to, pretty much what you missed was just me wiring and then putting in position, and that's just pretty much, you need to physically see someone in person do that rather than on a video. I don't think it really comes across that well, but just think about the layering, think about getting the main branches in place, take off things that you don't want. When there's growth in between 2 branches, take it off. When there's 3, take off one of them. Always have 2, things like that. It's just basic stuff that, you know, you look at my other videos and just keep talking about, but now it's more of a, this is a cool little tree. I really like it. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Subscribe if you haven't and click the little bell icon so you can get notifications of new videos. See you next time.